It's the 4th week of February, which means the very last video in the Frugal February series. That's pretty cool. What have I been up to this week? Do you want to know the truth? Or do you want me to make a really pretty video? The truth is, I had a hard time showing up today. You know, showing up to life. But it was really good for me that I did. You know, sometimes life is just hard. And that's okay. I'm grateful to build patience. I'm grateful to build the skill of endurance. And these are not just things that most people have naturally. They come with getting up and showing up and doing them when you don't want to do them. And I think that that's kind of the foundation of being in a better position, saving money, and that big scope of things. It's a lifestyle. It's you getting up and making the decision to do something that you don't want to do, maybe that you don't have the time to do, or in this case, you don't have the will to do. And I'm really trying to listen to what I feel is truth. For example, don't let my emotions dictate my day. And I know to some people that probably sounds very obvious. But unfortunately to me lately, sometimes that's easier said than done, you know. Everybody in this world has their own trials and their own things that they're having to battle, the private battles of life. And sometimes you just need somebody on the outside to remind you of that. You know, you can still have a good day, but not feel bursting with joy at the seams every second of it. But you can still have little glimmers and twinkles of happiness throughout that day. Maybe you're just having a mundane day. Maybe it's just kind of subpar. Not every day can be an adventure. Sometimes you just gotta show up and do what you gotta do. And maybe you're sad, or you're tired, or your body hurts, or it's not cooperating, or it's healing. And you still gotta show up. The storms of life. So I've got this 86-year-old grandmother. She's incredible. Just a wealth of knowledge. It's like I can't get enough of her when I talk to her. Well, she's an author, and she's written all of these books throughout her life. And she's had quite an adventurous life. It's pretty remarkable, really. Well, she's written about a lot of it in her books, and I was kind of just down. And I was reading one of these poems that she wrote, so I guess I'll just read it to you. Her husband's name used to be Jim, and they lived at sea together for several years, just the two of them on a boat. And I know that sounds really romantic, and I'm sure at times it probably was. But it was also very scary at times, and she said it really tried their marriage. And she says there were times we were just standing there and we couldn't stand each other, or standing there in a bad circumstance and we would just scream at each other. And you really have to figure out who you are and how to negotiate and how to let go and have this sacrificial love when you're stuck with somebody like that in the middle of the ocean. And I feel like that was probably something I needed to hear. This poem is called The Storm. Are you in the midst of a storm? I've almost forgotten the worst of the winds. I've almost forgotten the bold, breaking sea, the billows abeam almost broaching our boat, which would sink us disastrously. But I do remember you steering from the bridge, with no visibility, and stood the night, that dark, dark night, where no one should ever be, and fought the tyrannical sea. I recall that the morning was drenching wet. I've forgotten those hours of misery. I know you continued to steer even yet because of the swells of the sea. But what I remember most clearly now, Jim, is somehow how you took care of me.